there are tons of different essay structures, and in this course we cover a variety of them. But this is the simplest essay structure, and this is something you can copy paste in every essay you write, no matter what exam it is, what curriculum you're doing. You can copy paste this. Now, what this is going to be based on about 200 to 300 words, and we have 4 paragraphs which are accepted again everywhere in the world, every exam and every English test or course you do. We have a template here, a template which doesn't just have wordings but very fancy wordings. So if you're doing any of the exams where you want to score a great point, these words are some things you can use. And if you don't want to score a great point, you just want to learn how to write essays, again, these words are going to make it just very easy for you because you can always copy paste them whenever you write. When you start an essay, assume the essay is about should we put money towards climate change, okay? My opinion is going to be yes. So we always start with a little introduction, which is going to be this. Now here, you're going to put the topic, climate change has been causing debates worldwide, and for good reason. And for good reason simply means it makes sense, why it's causing debates, it makes sense. And it's a nice way to start. It's just a very general thing to say, has been causing debates worldwide. Simply means people have been talking about it. So it's a smooth start. Now you say, I opine that. And it's not, you can also say in my opinion, but everybody says in my opinion. So a different way to say it is I opine that. Opine simply means you believe that. Instead of believe, you want to say opine because it sounds fancy. Now before I go into body 1 and body 2, let's talk about the conclusion. Conclusion, just like the introduction, will have 2 sentences only. The first sentence is conclusively, and you can see where I put commas here. All right, guys, so be careful with the commas. You want to make sure you put those commas for a punctuation. You can also say to conclude or in conclusion or overall, but conclusively is rarely used. It's a less common word, which is why we should use it. It's going to give you more marks if you use more unique words. Conclusively, and here it really depends on the topic. If you're talking about climate change, it's going to be different. So you can, depending on what you have covered so far, I have left this blank. For example, I would say conclusively, climate change has been a big issue and we have different opinions. Conclusively, climate change continues to make people work towards a better future. Really depends on the topic, but you can definitely start with conclusively. It's a good connector and it just shows people that we're in the conclusion. Now you say thereby, which is like therefore, same thing. I restate, which means you repeat. And now you rephrase your opinion here. Whatever opinion you had up here, you will now say it again here in a different way, in different words. For example, maybe I said up here, I opine that climate change is a very important issue and we should put money towards it. Now I'm going to say, thereby I restate, climate change needs financial funding because it's a crucial issue. Okay, so same thing, same opinion, but a different wording needs to be used. When we go to body 1, you start with to begin with. Everybody says firstly, secondly, don't do that. Everybody says on the one hand, on the other hand, you are going to say to begin with. Okay, you want to be different, you want to be more fancy. To begin with, and of course, we cannot fill a lot of the body. It depends on the topic, but you talk about climate change. To begin with, I support climate change, right? So I'm going to talk about something in positive wordings about it. To begin with, climate change has been killing animals and deserts. Therefore, which is why it's important that we pay attention to it. For example, now here you can give an example of a worldwide scenario that's been happening, depending on the situation. When we say on top of that, you are now going to add your second point, okay? This is where you can include on top of that, climate change has been contributing to rising sea levels and explain that. You finish the paragraph with hence, it's a concluding word, and you say one sentence with hence, and that wraps up your paragraph. Now in body 2, if you decide to go on the other side, start with nonetheless. Now if you're saying, for example, however or nonetheless means the same thing. Nonetheless means but, okay? It's just more fancy. So nonetheless, some people think we should not pay money towards climate change because we have other important areas like education. So this you would use if you're going against the opinion, but if you're not going against the opinion, if you want to add more points to your opinion, just say moreover. Okay, start with moreover. It's a unique connector. Use that. Again, you give an example, but here you don't say example, like, because you already did that. So now you're going to say for instance, just to keep it fresh. And then you're going to say to further back that up. You see, our wordings are better. It's going to be a better essay than everybody else because you're not saying secondly. You're not saying and. You're saying to further back that up. It's a connector, and now you can add another point. Now, therefore is the sentence you can use to conclude it, but you don't have to because you already said hence before, so you said therefore again. It looks like it's too structured. Sometimes it doesn't need to be that structured, but if you feel like you need to say therefore to make your idea more simple, you can say therefore. All right, and that's going to be your body 1 and 2. That's going to be the simplest essay structure that you can copy paste every time. And it's simple because you can learn it easily, but it's not simple because the wordings are complex and advanced, which will make you sound like you are a great writer, an academic writer with the knowledge of all these great words and connectors. All right, hope that helps.